Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So apologies, just you get it's just like I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna pee myself. Yeah, when you get those sort of moments. Yeah, I just had one of those. So, Major Problem 1942 has done me a great service here by taking a look at the pilot train system. We were discussing some things actually last night in the Discord. Myself, Major. Pirate Joe, AT, and Icy Chrome. So that was quite cool. It was nice to have that sort of interaction with you guys. Believe it or not, I really do appreciate all the input that we get here. If he's 15 minutes late, are we legally allowed to leave? You're legally allowed to riot, but you're not allowed to leave. That's what the restraints are for, really. Hello there, Harkon, Fron, as we just seen there. Keith, Horizon, Justin, Battling Geezer. Yeah, good to see you guys, yeah. And Horizon. 20 minutes before class? Yep. Have fun there, my dude. I hope you're doing something good. So there, Roach, you met Roach. So yeah, Roach here is the Commissar of Paints and Hobbyist Materials, so definitely worth checking out his channel. Hello there, Cursor. How are we doing there today? Okay, so last stream we actually did some really nice things here, actually. Now, we don't, obviously in the advisement of Major, we don't need to bother with the actual full speed, and it did actually clarify how we want things to actually behave, how surface task forces actually behave, and the fact that when they do actually detect enemy and, well, react to the enemy, they will move at full speed. So, once we are actually within something like 6 hexes of the enemy, should they still be detected, the task force will move at full speed anyhow, so that works fine. At least we're not going to be wasting fuel. The fuel will be needed, well, used as needed, so that's good. We do have Captain Karakani, or Karakane. I don't know, how would you pronounce that? Karakani? I'm going to assume it's probably something like Karakani, because it sounds more Japanese than Karakane. But it could be, no, Karakani sounds more Japanese. And yep, he has some pretty impressive naval ratings there. Hello there, Gamgubben. Gamgubben. How you doing there, my friend? I think it's the first time seeing you here live in this stream, so welcome. I do try to remember you guys. I'm picking myself up a little bit there. Oh dear. Okay, so we have Mokazuki over here, we do have Kirakawa and Maru, she's going to be heading over here to Bellup Island. Yeah, I mean, we do have the 2 light cruisers here via AMC as well, via Osaka and Maru. Obviously they're going to be heading back towards Luganville. See, ultimately what I'd like to do here then is actually, yeah, a good idea here actually, is obviously when we do arrive back at Luganville, assuming everything does go well, we will bring one of the cargo ships, I reckon, from Luganville to Comac, but only once the actual base there has been captured. I think it'd be far too risky to have it there just sat out in the open. If I can dock it, then yeah, we can begin to unload supplies there at Comac and begin the process of moving onwards, so that'd be quite good. Okay, so we will still be moving to engage the enemy south. Yep, we absolutely will. Join Streamers Anonymous. Yeah, I know, right? I'm actually quite proud of myself for being able to say that and not fucking it up, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell here, he's moving east. Now, according to Major, the Allies do not have a fast transport mission. Obviously, tell the word for it. I should have actually checked it, but yeah, I take his advice pretty well. He is a good old veteran there. Surprisingly Scottish. Didn't expect it to be Scottish, so that's always cool. The Scots know a few things, drinking and the Pacific War, so I'll take that. Welcome to the Hotel Yamato. Yeah. How you doing there, Cola? Yep, okay. Now, the good news is Kitabutai is going to be swinging down south this turn. There we go. So she'll arrive possibly here or possibly here. Either way, I mean, this might be the most likely, most conservative position she may arrive at. If she indeed arrives here, she'll be only 8 hexes out from Bellup Island, which is really good. I'd like to actually take a look at Kiributa here. I mean, to be honest, I'm really happy with the fact that we've actually taken some additional A6M2 replacements, which is actually freaking awesome. The second time we've done so, actually. So that's nice, at least we're starting to rebuild what we did lose. So let's take a look at what we actually do have in the pool. Speaking of the pool, I'll be doing some decisions there later on, but we'll get into that one later. Okay. So what I want to see here then is the aircraft and engine production pool. So let's see. Righto. Do we actually have any A system 2-0s left? No, we've used them all that were in the pool, and so that's fine. Can he dock at that port? Are the heavy cruisers too big? It is a size 2 port, so he should be able to manage that. We have a size 1 port over here, so let's go ahead and take a look. So, 6,000 tons at size 1. Do we have a size 2 anywhere else? Just so I can double check. I think, is it Reconnaissance? Yeah, Reconnaissance is a size 2, so Reconnaissance can handle about 9,000 tons? Something in that sort of region, so yeah. Probably. Or about 12,000 tons, it's something like that. We'll figure it out as we get to see it. Speaking of Reconnaissance, we are building up fortifications over here on the island, which is good. Now, I didn't actually notice this last stream, but we do have our engineer unit over here at Inuatok, which is great. We do still have some over here on Pecan. So, we are going to return with the AMC there to go pick those bad boys up with the light cruiser Kiso. That's fine. I know the plan is Australia with Kidabutai, but why not Fiji or Pago instead? They are set and right on... See, the reasoning, the rationale behind Australia, and the reason why I support the Kidabutai raid on Australia is there will be some sort of resistance. I can imagine he's got to have some sort of planes there. But it's probably the best chance we're going to get at actually hitting Australia and actually causing some pretty good damage. I reckon a raid there is low risk to Kidabutai. Yeah, it's one of these of when it's low risk and really a high reward. It's like if we don't take any particular losses, we might lose an aircraft here and there. But I think if we can just take some of the shipping capacity out from Australia, or just even take care of some of his warships here, that'd be great. I mean, the good news is of it. Yeah, I know, right? 80 there. Yeah. I mean, I heard enough about Australia from Pirate Joe, so that was a fun one. That was meme worthy. Yeah. So we do have. I mean, this is it. That task force there is something of a gift. It really is something of a gift. It has honestly ensured that the raid towards towards Australia is going to be successful no matter what, because, well, really how I'm going to deem it successful, because at the end of the day, it's like, even if the FCF, so obviously the Fiji Cover Force, even if the FCF doesn't actually engage and deal with the American task force there, well, Allied task force, and this is it, it's like, I'd obviously like to do it via air power. Of course, we do have the surface force on, well, basically less than a day out, so they are going to be tasked with hitting the enemy. But if we can do it by air power, we'll do it by air power. Now, ultimately, I'd like to keep Kidabutai hidden as long as possible. That'd be great. Have we seen any signs there's any planes on Fiji or Pico? Right, well, we are aware that there are aircraft out here. We did see a while ago, maybe a week or 2 weeks ago at this point, I can't remember actually when it was, but we did see aircraft at Suva. So, we know he has aircraft in the area. We are seeing pretty regular reports of aircraft over Savai, so he is going to be doing something. And I feel like he might be making some sort of push towards Savai, maybe a landing there at some point in the future. But even something like that, it's not an easy task for the Allies at this stage. It's not an easy task at any real stage, to be honest, but at least we do sort of have a grace period which, well, the Allies don't have all the amazing things they will have in the future. So that's going for us. I mean, it's like it'd be good to obviously take control of all the Samoan Islands here. So Upolu, eventually, just to obviously deny it to him. We did discuss last night, myself and a few of you guys, a few of the actual viewers here, that we do have a really good potential over here in Fiji and New Caledonia. If we take control of New Caledonia, we do have access to the possibility of creating a very large airfield over here at New Maya. But Suva really takes the cake and just really, yeah, it'd be fantastic to have such a large airfield there. I believe Suva can be built up to a size 9 or size 10 airfield, which is pretty damn impressive. 50% of American raids occur by 13% of... I'm not... I'm just not entirely sure if I interpreted the statement there. Are you talking about 30% of the Japanese carrier forces in terms of, like, flat top numbers? Or are you talking about success rate or something like that? I just want to make sure I actually understand what you're saying there. Not that you've said it in a bad way or anything like that, I just want to be sure. Okay. Yeah, we do have a fair amount of supply here, but I do need to get moving. I'm somewhat, yeah, somewhat worried about, obviously, the security of Luganville, but obviously, well, Kitabutai is going to be basically, let's have a look where they're going to be then. Yeah, okay, so even in our conservative estimates, they're going to be 7 hexes away from Luganville, so obviously, yeah, they'll be well within range to aid for the most part. I think the B5N2 Kates have torpedo range to 7 hexes, but obviously they can move into the extended range and use bombs. But obviously it's going to be more so the power of just the day after, the strike after. Okay. So what are we running here? 30% combat air patrol. We're trying to keep fatigue down for the most part. Now, pilots are going to start to lose experience here to a degree, obviously due to the long lengths of time. But that's not too much of an issue, as they'll be in combat soon enough. Okay. Yep, so as far as it goes, I think we've got the vast majority of things set up already down here. And of course, I do have this force moving over here. It is going to be escorted by the second destroyer over here. Any great new plans? Well, we're still going with the one at Australia. And for the most part, it's going to be resolving around just wrapping up New Caledonia down here in the Pacific. We are going to be engaging at Loyang next turn. Next turn as well, Clark shall fall, which is good, and then we're going to be moving on. Well, we'll have a week or so, probably like a week to rest at Clark. Allow other forces to arrive and allow our men to recover and plan, really. 1867 Squadron lacks pilots, thank you very much there. Anna, good pointing. Good pointing out there. Well, once we do take Loyang, yeah, so once we do finish off the Chinese forces at Loyang, we will turn about, we'll leave a garrison there. The reason for taking Loyang, in my opinion, is really just to try and protect Changchao and the rail line to a degree. Other than that, once we do take Loyang, we do destroy the Chinese there, everybody will march back to Changchao and get in those rail lines as soon as possible, and then, to be honest, we are going to begin the offensives aimed towards Changsha and that sort of area. And then moving on from there, we'll eventually aim to take the heart out of the Chinese and hit their capital. Which is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to take some time, but it's going to be a lot of fun when it's managed. And with that, it won't destroy the Chinese. It won't, like, remove them from play, but it will effectively kill their supply. As obviously the Burma Road is not going to be worth anything. The Chinese are going to just starve. So that's going to be great. Obviously, we'll gain some nice assets over there at Chukian. Is it Chuking? I can't remember, Chuking. I can't remember what the name of the actual capital that is. We'll double check that one later. But yes, anyhow, we do have the 61st Naval Guard, at least elements of them, who will be landing over here at Comac next turn. Ideally, yeah, it looks like next turn, so that's good. We will be bringing some additional supply over here, which is nice, 789 tons. I think you start building bomber forces at Clark as the fortifications must be building up. See, I want to use my bombers at Wenzhou. I know what you're saying about that with Bataan, but the thing is with Bataan, it's going to be a tough nut. We'll move on to it soon enough, but what I want to do is I want to move my ground forces in and then really just bombard him and use the air power to deal with him. I don't want to really give him any breathing room. Okay, but no, I understand what you're saying there, dude, and there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, then, just to ensure further security. See, it's kind of tempting with the two light cruisers here, but they're not fast enough to actually keep up with the Fiji Coast Force. And hello there, Major. How you doing there, my friend? Yeah, so we're going to have the two light cruisers and AMCs. Well, sorry, the AMC link up with Task Force 70, just to try and increase the amount of guns on station there that, in the event of emergency, might be able to deal with the situation. What are the orders for the submarine in Noumea? We have I-175, she's going to be patrolling here and then over to Noumea. The 171 is going to be patrolling here and then into Noumea. I'm not entirely sure what I expect him to be moving. I think he's going to be moving towards Noumea. It's going to be interesting as to really, at what speed did he approach here? That's the question. And I'd love to know. I don't think he's approached at full speed, because I don't think he has, like, fuel to waste in this area. He has fuel, but he doesn't have fuel everywhere in abundance. Not yet. So, we'll see. I'm hoping that he's obviously going to move towards Noumea. His movements do suggest he's going to move towards Noumea. I think it's one of these of, well, it'd be very foolhardy for him to move on towards Comac and Bennep Island immediately, because at the end of the day, he doesn't really know what is in this area, so be very brave. And especially without any aerial support. I mean, there are aircraft over here at Suva. He may look to move some aircraft over here to Noumea, but that's unknown. The good news for us is obviously the fact that the Fiji Cover Force is actually under a rather obnoxious level of overcast, so that's great news. Yep, these forces are undetected as well, so that's good news. All these sorts of things build up just to give us, just to help us out, really. Okay. So we could of course do some extra supplies in here. I think what we're going to do then is wait the additional day, allow the 61st Naval Guard to land, and I think once we have the 61st Naval Guard, I reckon we could probably defeat this force already, but I'd like to do it quite cleanly, I'd like to do it quite quickly. So we'll wait for these extra forces to arrive. It's more so the actual supply that I need, that I want. So we'll wait for that supply to arrive. And the day after then we'll begin the deliberate battles at Comac, secure Comac, then we can begin to move in additional supplies if needed. But yeah, we'll more than likely have these troops re-embark to join up with the planned operation over here at Noumea. But if we can remove this force in this area, that might be, I don't know, it might represent a decent part of his mobile assets in this area. We are going to see the carriers, the American carriers, at some point in the future. The good news is the fact that at least we do have a couple islands in between, well, where we think his carriers are and obviously Noumea. So at least there's a chance that we might see him coming, which is, it's worth its weight in gold. Absolutely worth its weight in gold. Plenty of enemy submarines over here, by the way. Okay, so you're just patrolling here. Good, I'm glad to see that we have I-19. She's going to be handy. I still think that the Fiji Cover Force should run at full speed. Well, this is it. I mean, Major here pointed out that how it works with the actual Surface Combat Force is when they do have their detection, well, sorry, their reaction. When they do react to an enemy force, they will move at full speed. So, as soon as they come within 6 hexes, I believe they will go into full speed anyhow. And obviously it's not too far, but the fuel that we save on those hexes where it's not necessary is going to be worthwhile, I'd imagine. Okay, so what we're going to begin to do here is... Oh, hello, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, we didn't actually notice that one last turn, did we? Now, that is very interesting. So that's 4... Yeah, I suppose it... Well, we can see 3 transports there, and there's supposedly something else there. But that is very, very interesting. Quite happy with that. Okay, do we get any sort of direction of where they're headed? No, we don't know anything about them. Do I have a search craft here? Unfortunately not. Okay, well that's pretty good to know. I suppose we'll just have them patrol here and, yep, tell them to go into high threat tolerance there. That's fantastic. So we might even be able to get some additional shots into some cargo ships next turn. Ideally, they'll be carrying something of worth. Of value. I think I do expect something over at Survive, but I think I'm being a little bit too overcautious there. So what we're going to do then is actually have I-25 here. She's going to initially shift over towards Suva. She could even potentially head to Palmyra, but it's a little bit of a trek over that way. And we do have to bear in mind that fuel is limited quantity, isn't it? So what we'll do then is we'll have her... we'll have her head over to VG. From there, we might have her head back and potentially to Luganville. Though it's fuel that we need more than anything. So yeah, it might be a trip back up to truck ultimately to go refuel unless we can get some fuel in the meantime. Okay, so 142 is going to be landing over here at Vaitupul. Vetupul or something. I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. Okay, you're moving in here. What I'm going to do is... Right, supposed to be APDs over here. See, the question is, it's not really something I want to tango with, is it? I'd imagine they're probably an ASW force, perhaps? I'm interested in the AMCs over here. What we're going to do then is we're going to patrol around here. And then a little bit further out. There we go. I'm going to have you troll here instead this time. And then there. We will have to take a look at pulling these guys back at some point in the future as they are getting pretty low on fuel. They should have enough to make it back to Luganville where they could potentially take on some additional fuel. Maybe from oilers in the near future, but yeah, we do have to be quite careful. I need to make sure that they can get back to truck, to be honest. So it wouldn't be a bad idea actually here to set their home ports to truck. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all. And then at least they're going to automatically head back to truck. Ideally, we can try and hit that submarine just outside of truck this turn. There we go. Now then, we did see activity off the American coastline. So we'll attempt to deal with that, really. I'm going to continue to have this one move to the north over here. Hell, if there's a chance to actually hit something here, then that's great. He seems to be really... I don't know, it doesn't seem to be particularly concerned about submarines over here. Right, now I-20. I-16. I'm somewhat tempted to bring some of these submarines back home, to be honest. I think it's one of these of how much good does it actually do us to have these submarines off the coast? At the end of the day, he's going to be aware that there's going to be probably something out there. It does make me wonder. It might serve as better to potentially pull them back. I don't know. We'll see what we can do this turn, and we'll see what happens. But, I don't know. I just think we do have a couple of submarines out here. I think some of the I-20 models and that sort of series... what is the actual class of submarine? Is it the Type C1? I think it's the Type C1s that can carry the midget submarines. I'm just thinking it might be worth our time to actually, you know what, like, have them... brought back over here to this area so they can actually take on midget submarines and obviously support our actions over here. I think the Japanese submarine is a amazing tool, but I think if I don't know, I don't feel like I'm using them to their best ability. It's all well and good like trying to blockade the American coastline, but I can't blockade it all, and at the end of the day, he's not sending stuff out all the time. There's a lot of room for him to get around me, and frankly, there's going to be a lot of resistance over here. There will probably be patrols ramped up as soon as we actually do try it, well, hit something. So we might wait until we can try and get a hit on whatever comes out this turn. We did miss last turn, and in fairness, it might be worth actually having I-18 return. She's got 7,000 units of fuel, yep, sure. We did see some actual... well, we saw an American transport this way out, so we might be able to pick her up on the way back. But yeah, I think I think it's worthwhile. I mean, even this at 6,000, it's not a huge amount of endurance at all. So we'll see what happens this turn. But I might very well consider bringing these guys back. I mean, we do see some ships over here at San Francisco. So we'll see what we can do. But I'm not married to the idea of really blockading the US coastline. I think we could probably do a hell of a lot better out in the Dutch East Indies or around this sort of area, really. I mean, that'd be very good. Obviously, having a lot of submarines here to support our actions would be great. I'd also like to keep some submarines sort of like almost like in reserve around certain islands. At the end of the day being around enemy islands, we could potentially use them as a form of reconnaissance, but yeah, around some of our own islands, they could be used as a means of defense, obviously, if he does come a-knocking. But that sort of idea is not going to be taking effect, not really until like later in 42, 43, 44, 45. But yep, submarines over here returning. And they could be routed over here, but I don't think it's worthwhile, especially with Kitabutai moving down here, so that's going to be great. Okay, what we're going to do here then is tell our intrepid oilers to return to track. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine that force there, make sure that they are moving at least in a stronger formation, a stronger force, you know, like 2 destroyers rather than just like 1. Still a little bit of fuel here, but that's fine. So we need to go ahead and meet Task Force 55 just outside Tulagi. There we go. And then head back to track. So I do have the destroyer over here, Nagatazuki. Right. So we see he has aircraft over here, which is interesting. What do we have on board here? Yeah, so we have naval construction and the tank regiment. Okay. More oilers here. How far away are we? 8 hexes. Might be worthwhile to try and use these Jakes while they're here. I'll use 1 squadron. Run about 10,000 feet. Yeah. While they're here and ideally within range, we'll run like a reconnaissance mission with 1 squadron there. So at least it might give us a little bit more detection, a little bit of a better idea of what's going on here. I do need to get some supply down there. So to be honest, I could do with actually setting up and, yeah, what we'll do here then is track, form new task force. Cargo. Yeah, the Awata Maru could do that job really quite nicely. Ooh, we do have Isokazi over here. She does need to repair. Yep, obviously these guys did just arrive. It might be worth it to send the AMCs, considering they do have incredible endurance. But then again, they don't have a huge... Well, actually, no, they do have a good cargo capacity, but these guys are great for the fast transport and amphibious landing, so I'd rather use them for a purpose that's not as mundane as just taking some supplies to 2 islands. What do we have here? So we do have a USN. She is 15 knots. That's pretty good. Okay. What I'm going to do here then is... she's docked up good. Okay, what I'd like her to do then is actually pick up some actual supplies here. I'm going to have to dispatch another supply convoy to the Marshalls at some point, into this general South Pacific area at some point from Japan. We do need to keep a close eye on what's going on there. Okay, we're unloading over here at Saipan. Coolio. Right. What are we doing at Saipan? We're expanding the airfield, that's good. Obviously going to be expanding with fortifications as well. We need to go through some of these islands. Well, a lot of these islands are just really get some of these fortifications going. Now, RO67. She's not too far out from Johnston, so we're going to have her head down that way. Though, I do suspect something's going to happen at Midway. I think he's going to try and do something at Midway. I just think it's one of these things of where we sort of anticipated he'd hit Midway first, but we know his carriers are out in this area. I think he's still going to be out for some blood. So what I'm going to try and anticipate really is the fact that he may, in fact, head to Midway. So I'm routing a submarine already, so I'm going to route another one. Wake, as far as I can tell, is not under immediate threat. So we'll bear that in mind. Okay. Speaking of which, I do need to add a pilot over here to one of these Zero squadrons. Actually, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll grab 6 pilots here, then keep the actual good guys in reserve. Still not carrier trained yet. It's not a major deal. It'd just be one of those things where it'd be kind of nice. Okay. Right then. So the good news is also we've got these AGs. I mean, 3 AGs are going to be very, very handy. I'm not entirely sure what we might be able to manage, as obviously we'll have to take a look at the amount of naval support that we'll have. But, yeah. These AGs are going to be nice. They're going to help to rearm, carry out some small repairs, that sort of stuff, really. So having a couple of them is going to be quite nice. We'll look towards sending like a AKE around here at some point, an ammunition ship. And these guys can be actually converted over to AKEs. So oh, God damn it. AKEs. And can you create new squadrons or just reinforce those you have? We can't create squadrons per se. You can enlarge squadrons, you can divide squadrons, but you can't, like, create an entirely new one. Okay. As we'll have the 5th Mortar, 2nd Field Artillery, then the 21st Air Flotilla. Hello there, Infinite. How you doing there, my friend? And one thing I've noticed is you keep yourselves too close to the new bases. If THD was more expensive, we'd put Common Patrol, Naval Search, ASW outside those ports where you clearly have subs, yeah. And this is it. We are trying to stray away from that. I mean, over here is a, well, we're doing that, obviously, to support our fleet action. I mean, over here, the only reason why I'm doing that is just, as far as I can tell, we're undetected. But we are going to be probably pulling back from this area shortly. But it's a good point. Very good point. Yeah. But no, it's a very good point about Infinite. Okay. So the 21st Air Flotilla. Well, we're looking at about 2-3 days out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when they arrive. I mean, this is what we need. They are bringing additional supply to the area, which is pretty exceptional. Half tempted to send that supply back to one of these islands, but the thing is, it's on an AG. I'd like the AG down here. Carrier train takes 90 days then. Alright, that's good to know. I definitely don't think they've been on 90 days. But that's, yeah, that's something that's quite good then. Okay. Yep, I mean, the 21st Air Flotilla here is going to be amazing. So we'll have the aviation support here. We'll have the additional support as well, which is going to be very handy. We're expanding the airfield here first, but then we are going to have to expand the port as well. Yeah, you are right there, Infinite. He does rightly point out that AGs, they're only for, like, small craft. They don't do anything larger. They repair small craft as well, but that's fine. Okay. That works for me. How much support do we have here? 340, so we do need some additional support, so that's going to be quite good. Hello there, Paul Sanders. How you doing there, my friend? Yep, long time no see. I'm listening to work. That's pretty awesome, my dude. I hope you're having a great day at work. I do hope the weather's actually better over there. At the moment over here, it's absolutely chucking it down, so not really great. Really quite grey out there. Okay, what else we've got in the area? We do have 2 AMCs over here with another Naval Guard, so that's good. We'll decide what we're going to do with that one as the day progresses, really. Another oil around here. Yep. Heading back. Ooh, okay, that's no good. It looks as though they put way too much fuel out there. Okay, what we're going to do here then, this is not a good situation, actually. That's strange. That's very strange. Okay. What we'll do then is we'll meet up with Task Force 55. Grey in Seattle, but no rain. That's alright, but I suppose at least if it's grey, it's not raining or something, so that's alright. Yeah, so we'll have these forces merge then. Obviously, these guys are going to be heading back over there, so we'll have 3 destroyers, 3 oilers. Obviously, they'll head into track. We'll have them share that fuel so they can all get home. We did alright over here, actually, with the patrol boats. Now, I do have 3 submarines over here that I do need to get out of the area at some point. ACMs. Yeah, I-168, I-15, RO-68. 90 days is roughly March 7th. Okay. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I-15, she's quite damaged. I-168 is quite damaged there. We'll have them moved out when we're in a more, well, a safer circumstance. Right, I do have the 2 patrol boats over here. They are pretty low on fuel. What we're going to do here then is change their patrol pattern to over here at Kwajalein. Okay. I do have another submarine over here at this island. Not a huge amount of fuel here. Not a huge amount. What I'm going to do here is... I'm going to disband her for the time being, actually. At least then she's not going to be wasting fuel. We'll keep her there just as some sort of, like, reserve, really. Grain Scotland, only a matter of time until the rain. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, God, you know, I love the Scottish accent. Sounds absolutely just... It's so cool. We bit jealous there. Oh, dear. Okay, now the great news here is we finally have the Mindanao APDs ready. As I'm going to look towards actually bringing them really into service, which is great. Okay. That was weird. Are we like live on the actual stream here? That bloody well is weird. See, we're still wasn't so much of a delay on the stream here. Okay, looks like everything's alright then. It was hailing earlier when I live in York. Ah, man, I'm so jealous. I'd love to live in York. We had some hail out here not too long ago, actually. Right then. So, we're not looking at long here, are we? Not looking at long. Cannot wait for that. And that's good then. Thank you very much there, Justin. That's strange. I don't know. It might be like the weather that's interfering or something like that. I don't know what it was with the actual OBS thing. Okay, that's fine, then. It's not, it looked like it sputtered out there for a moment. Right, so let's see here then. Amphibious... Well, I'll go with surface combat, actually. They'll be able to identify them. Yep, Akakazi. Down to 29 knots. Well, 29 knots is still... Yeah, that's decent. What are we looking in terms of endurance? Yeah, not huge amounts of endurance there, so we are going to have to use them at shorter ranges. But these bad boys, once they do upgrade, that is going to give us access to the Type 13 radar. It's a fair while off, but it's good to have. At least it does mean that we have some additional radar. I mean, this is it. We are at a massive, massive bloody technological inferiority here. Inferiority, I should say. Spotted out. Strange. Very... I don't know, man. It could be the weather. The rate here looks okay. So, I don't know. It could be like... It could just be the weather or something like that. We'll continue anyhow. Right, what I'm going to do is have them sent towards Nagasaki. So, we're going to have them assemble in Nagasaki. He's gone. Oh. Okay, that's good then. I'll just, I guess I'll just have to continue here. I'm sure things will be okay. Oh, weird. That is very weird. See, showing over here as excellent connection as well, so I think things should be okay. I don't know, it might be just some, like, weird weather issues, to be honest, but it seems like things are okay on my end. That's very weird, okay. I guess we'll just have to continue then. Yeah, we'll just continue then. Okay, so we have Minakazi, her namesake over here. Right, head over to Nagasaki. Okay. Not ground units, though we will be looking at that one in a short time. We're going to be looking for APDs. Yeah, actually a few in Nagasaki already. 2 in Yokohama, Yokosuka. Yeah, I mean, this is it. We've really, really increased the size of our APD pool here. They're going to come in handy. To be honest, what we might do is, I don't know if it's particularly the best. It's good to see that we have another sub-chase over here. I might have that sent over to, you know what, bugger it. No, actually, it's going to slow them down too much. But I will have that sent over to Nagasaki as well. Keep in mind, Type 13 does not activate until the 1st of 1943. Well, January 1943, even though it shows an AP... Oh, okay. Well, I suppose it's one of those things of, it's better to have it... And then at least when it does become operational, at least we'll have it, so... yeah, curse you, ionosphere. A bit of a bummer there, but hey, we'll still have it. Okay. Have this sub-chaser sent over here to Nagasaki. I do need to get my convoys running directly again. The good news is once we do have the influx of patrol boats, we're going to have far more escorts for the actual convoys. Which is going to be good. We'll have a mix of passive and active. Right, Kagoshima. I forgot about that. What are they up to? Oh, this was a force from the Philippines, wasn't it? Okay. Right, very good to know. Right, head back up over here to Nagasaki. Right then, do we actually, I mean, to be honest, I could use some of these actual troop transports. These fast ones as well, definitely fast ones. Let's take a look then. What do we actually have here then in terms of, like, unrestricted units, if any? None in Nagasaki. I do have a armored regiment, as well as an engineer force over here. Second division there. 42 vehicles so far. Right, let's have a look at this. They're quite low on fuel. But 17 knots is very, very good. So what we're going to do here then, we do have only a slight... we don't have a huge amount of fuel here at Kagoshima. Right. Amphibious is what we're going to be looking at. Yeah, here we go. 21 knots, 20 knots. There's a lot of troop capacity there. We're going to be headed to Nagasaki anyway, so I'll have the APD travel alongside them. We'll look to... choose the fuel. Actually, no. Right, okay. Leave you here. What we're going to do is leave, though this ship does actually carry more troops. No, that's fine then. I think 4 would be okay. Obviously, I'd like to have more escorts, but that's okay. What we're going to do here then is I'm going to send the APD to Nagasaki. Then these transports are going to have mainly head towards like towards Formos, and then ultimately I'm going to have them like head towards Indochina. Well, Indochina, like Borneo. We're going to have them. We're going to use them in the. Well, actually, what I might do with them is actually go over to Takao and pick up the 65th Infantry Brigade. That'd be quite handy. We could actually use that unit then to support our force. Well, support our push towards like taking over the Dutch East Indies. So we can look at that. At least we'll have some actual capacity to move those units around at decent speed too. So that's very good. Okay, so you're going to head back over here to Nagasaki. And ultimately I'd like to get some escorts back with the CVEs and the BBs. Drawn these waters here. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using these guys. Yep, that's all of them. Only the others over here at Miri. Speaking of Miri, we do obviously have the A672 squadron over here. Fatigue's still high, so obviously we're going to give that some time to rest and just recover from, really. Just obviously get rid of that. We're still unloading over here, just a little bit of supply. Now, it's not the most well-protected force here, so I would like to get it out and back towards Indochina. But the good news is, obviously, we've got a little bit of extra supply here. What I might do then is have the APDs move some of this supply over to Brunei itself, as obviously we are lacking there. Right, okay. Are they allowed to do it as a convoy? Well, sorry, cargo. No, it's not showing the APD, so I'll do it as a fast transport. Or could I do perhaps as amphibious? Okay, I can do amphibious. Right. Obviously, no, not going to be able to carry like a huge amount, but even like if we can manage the 600 tons of supply there, that's nice. What we'll do then is obviously move that into Brunei. Might move some actual troops into Brunei as well, like some engineers or something. Just something to actually hold the base there. Okay. You're loaded up? Now, there's a fair few troops over there. We do have a very... I mean, this is it. At the end of the day, these fast transports are great for this sort of thing. It's like, if there's going to be like an opposed landing, at the end of the day, I mean, they are warships. Obviously, they're carrying men, but they're still warships in the end of the day. Okay. So they're going to go ahead and head over there to Cagayan. We do have the Singapore Express. There is some detection over her. I think it's worthwhile to head back over here to Cameron Bay, actually, perhaps. Though we are aware of Hermes, aren't we? Not a terrible idea to keep them, I suppose, operating in this area. I think for the time being, what I'm going to do then is just keep them around this sort of area. Once we've conquered Mindanao, then we'll move them there. And we are going to have escorts move over here to actually escort the CVEs and BBs, so that's fine. And they'll be able to make their own way down here. Ultimately, what I'd like to do is obviously combine the CVEs and the CVLs. Obviously, we'll have Shoho in a couple days. But once we do have that, we'll have 3 light carriers and 2 escort carriers, and we'll use those carriers then to actually really support operations out here in the Dutch East Indies. I don't want to, like, leave the Mindanao operations, and that's good, so we'll see actually some AA arriving over here at Brunei. That's good. Escorted by 2 destroyers, so they can head back over there too. Yeah, some supply as well, actually, so we don't need to bother with that mission. Actually, I'll keep that one, though, because we can have those APDs take some supply over to one of these bases over here if it's necessary. Yeah, so, I think it'd be a fairly good force to actually support the operations in the Dutch East Indies. I mean, ultimately, we are going to need to have a fairly hefty force there. There's going to be a lot of air attacks, really. I mean, predominantly, we'll want a fighter force, really. So we'll have some strike capabilities, but for the most part it's going to be mostly just having fight cover and let the surface ships deal with any of the other threats. At the end of the day, 4 battleships is not a joke. But yeah, we need to protect them from the air. Probably should put the fighters, like spread the fighters out in the actual strike craft out as well, because obviously if we lose one carrier, then yeah, we kind of lost like 50% of our force, so that's not good. Shame that Taiyori's in a little bit faster. Ah well. She gets a Kilo radar set though, so I like that. Right, let's go back to direct. AKE, there's the ammunition ship. We also do have this auxiliary repair there too. This would be the elements of the 56 that were missed and the base force here as well. That's good. Now, I do need to move the air flotilla headquarters, the air headquarters out there. So we're either going to have it, I think we'll have it moving to Luzon for the time being. At the end of the day, it'd be quite handy to actually have it here at Luzon, as I could use, I could actually base the KI-21s over here then. The actual Sallies over there in Luzon. Have them really close range just to pound Bataan over and over again until it eventually cracks. But I mean, speaking of Bataan, Clark is going to fall this turn. He's moved the vast majority of his troops out of Clark, so that's great news. With that, yeah, it's game over. There's not going to be a lot here anyhow, which is a shame, because we know he was low in supplies, so yeah. He's only got a couple thousand men now. Just 2,500. Okay. Obviously then the rest of the men. Shame as well, because obviously the engineers did just arrive, as well as additional artillery and tanks. But this will be fine. We'll allow our troops actually to catch up and just merge. I might have the 81st Naval Guard actually combined, and then we could use that to take control of like Samar Leyte, Cebu maybe. Might need a larger force to take Cebu. I don't think we'll need it because they might be starved of supply by now. Well, they could be starved quite quickly. Okay, we'll go for a deliberate attack. Quite a bit of fatigue here, but at the end of the day, yeah, this is going to be the final attack over here at Clark. There we go. 21,000 infantry, 601. 25,871 second line infantry, 309 vehicles, 373 guns, 332 engineers, 8 engineering vehicles. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of AV there. Quite a lot there. So, the good news is, we'll look at what we have in Luzon, what we can actually send in addition to this. We do still have, obviously, some forces over there. The 14th Army really needs to get its arse into gear. And to be honest, what I could do is just have the 14th Army just stationed in Clark or at Manila. Nearby, obviously, to provide that support. I mean, they could probably just be based in Manila. I mean, obviously, they're not in any danger. But that extra support would be quite welcome over here at Clark, perhaps. But then again, we'll see. We might just have the... It might be just worthwhile just to have the headquarters over here. We're either going to have it here or obviously either in Clark or here as well. But I'd say probably Manila. It's not under any threat, man. Elements of the 33rd, so we're moving up. Another 41 guns. Yeah, so we do have these engineers over here, actually. We did actually do a decent number on that submarine there. You're still loading troops, unfortunately. I'm going to leave them looking after the actual transport here. I mean, this submarine did get hurt. Well, try and hit that submarine then while it's damaged. Might be able to dock these transports. No, unfortunately not. That's original, okay. Yeah, how about instead of that, well, I'll have you head over to Takao first. You might as well head to Takao, refuel there, but obviously we'll send you back. But you shouldn't have been headed up this way. I think we missed that one. Yep, those tankers there carrying the oil. How are we doing over here with the actual resources? Not done yet. Yeah, I need additional forces in Canton. Actually, no, never mind. Yep. What the hell is it showing me here? Oh, right, that's right. Okay, no wonder then. I was thinking that's weird. 66 there. I need to get that unit out of there. Yep, these men absolutely just need to rest now. The 13th is going to be making their way down. Actually tell them to plan for the objective. Right, the 5th Armoured Car Unit. Ideally, they should arrive before. We are going to have our forces over here that will arrive tomorrow at Loyang. Now, that's going to be quite good. I mean, as soon as we do take Loyang, we'll leave a garrison here. But we are going to then have our men turn around. They're going to march to Chengchao. We'll rail them from Chengchao to over here at Wuchang. From Wuchang, they're going to begin the march on Changsha. Now, we are going to take control of Kukong this turn, which is brilliant. I mean, what I might do here, I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of tempted. Do I divide the unit and have one of the elements head over here to Kanxian? I could always use a smaller unit to do that, but that's going to take some time. So what we'll do then is divide the unit. One of them can be on shock, that's fine. But yeah, we're going to get a element moving over here to Kanshian. As far as I'm aware, there's nobody there. But we'll capture that, and then at least that is pretty much all the bases in this area of China under our control. And then obviously as we begin our movement over here towards the Changsha area, and yeah, Chongqing, that's the name of the actual city I was thinking of. I mean, that's a fair amount of heavy industry there, light industry too, that's nice. Fuel to be an issue. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff here. If we take that out, then yeah, China is just effectively dead in the water, which is going to be great. Definitely help out our cause significantly. Okay. These troops are all on strategic, so I'm going to tell them to get off that. Actually. Fourth Brigade. Okay, what we're going to do here then actually is... Let's have a look. That must have been what I was thinking of doing. Right, have that unit moved. Yep, so that can move over there. We'll reform that into the 4th Brigade if we're able to do so. Okay. To be honest, there's not that much longer left here this turn. We're going to be done fairly soon, actually. I do have these engineers over here. Obviously, it's going to take them some time to arrive in Saigon, but when they do, they'll do us greatly proud. Alright, fatigue is building up there. I'm going to try 8,000 feet if we can get away with that. Yeah, they're marching towards Quailin. When is the 38th? When do they arrive there? Next turn. So if we can arrive next turn and then try to assault the enemy here, try and really cause some damage before they retreat, that'd be good. What's the plan for Singapore this/next turn? Well, the plan that I'm really hoping for, the one that's going to try and save us a little bit of face in the Malayan area, is I do have these paratroopers over here. They're on their way over. Not a huge amount of them. I mean, there's a lot of supply being brought over here, actually, which is going to be nice. Obviously, we do need a little bit more supply here in the Malayan area. And it's taking some supply from over here, but hey, I think we can manage that. Yeah, so the plan and really what I'm hoping for is we'll be able to use our newly enlarged A6M2 squadrons. Now, the thing is, we could definitely... I mean, what's interesting is it appears... I mean, this is what it appears to be. Obviously, this is due... Well, we do have low detection over Singapore here for the moment. But what we're going to be looking to do then is use the A6M2 squadrons to like have a series of roll-in sweep missions over Singapore using different squadrons, really spread out the fatigue there. And obviously the actual morale damage. Just damage sustained anyhow. But yeah. Once we do manage that, I think... Yeah. Have them actually escort our transports. I mean, what I'd love to do here then is, if we were able to do so, also we're going to have to do a lot of detection over here, really do a lot of reconnaissance, and just really figure out what's going on here. If there isn't anybody in Kuala Lumpur, if there isn't anybody in Malacca, if I could land in both of these bases, and even over here if we're absolutely lucky, it would be incredible. Because we'd be able to then move from here via the rail lines to Malacca within 2 days, give or take. I want to try and bring about a situation here where we're able to really leap ahead in terms of the speed of the advance and really catch him off guard. I don't think he's going to be expecting parachutists, so that'd be quite cool. What's up there, unknown person? How you doing, my dude? Welcome to the stream. But if we can catch him off guard by dropping some paratroopers and securing those bases, that'd be exceptional. It might... I don't think we'd be able to catch his forces at Mersing, but I think we might be able to catch them potentially at Johor Bahru. But either way, it really caused him some issues. Like, really would cause him some issues there. He'd not be having a great time. It'd be great to reform the 124th Infantry Battalion one day. Well, regiment, really. Yeah, I'm just, I've got a fast transport. We're actually going to have them sent over there now. So they're going to head over here to Kuantan. It's quite a damaged airfield, but we'll take it nonetheless. It doesn't appear that there's anybody there, so we'll hope that is the case. We do have a Thai unit nearby, so even if there's enemies here, we'll have some support within a few days. So yeah, that's what we're going to go for. Nicely preempted there, Infinite. Nicely preempted. Okay. But the great news here as well is it's like if we're able to secure, let's say... yeah, we could go with Malacca. I mean, obviously one of these other bases would be better, but yeah, try and base the fighters closer to the front lines and just have our aircraft based closer to the front lines over here. That'd be great. It's going to be an interesting theatre, to be honest. I think we're going to look to change our tactics here. Use really our bombers in a different way. I think when it comes to Malaya, I think it's one of these things of where... I was actually saying to this to the group last night, actually. I think when it comes to, like, Malaya, it's like my well, I suppose inadequacies is a little bit harsh on myself here, but I suppose inexperience really did show in the Malacca campaign, really. Well, the Malaya campaign, really. Just due to the fact of just, like, yeah, how you actually begin the game practically in contact with the enemy. I suppose it's like in the Philippines, like, things were able to wind up and gear up as we went on. It wasn't just instant combat as such. So yeah, I think Malaya is where I've had to learn the hardest lessons. Can you look if you can reform any air or ground units? Yeah, we'll have a look at that soon. Surprise house rules allow Thai units where you have them. What we have here with our house rules is we have them 3 hexes out. So they're 1, 2, 3. So yeah, to be fair, they should stop here actually. So we'll tell them to stop here. So yeah, they remain here in this position. There we go. How about night bombing the airfields? I think it's one of those where I don't think we need to worry about that sort of thing as yet. We will have an increased number of zeros, so they're going to be rested, fully rested as well. The thing is, we're just going to swamp in with fighters and just completely take them out of the air. I think the thing is, it's like, once we do remove that combat air patrol, then we can really run with the bombers here. With a fair degree of, well, impunity. How should we name this turn? Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. From, oh God. How do we name this turn? That's going to be an interesting one. From Nippon with love. From the barrels of Nagato with love. That might be quite fun, actually. Yeah, we'll go with something like that. From the barrels of Nagato with love. That sounds cool. And especially, I mean, it's going to sound silly if we don't actually hit anything, but it'd be kind of cool. Okay, I need to take a look at these patrols over here. I'm going to head around over here to Mikasa. Yeah, name it the attack on Hawaii. The invasion begins of Canada. Okay, we do see something over here. Keep van the area van. Ooh, good no. Yeah, we're not going to move in there. I'll have this move up and down. We did see some tankers, but we've since lost them. So I'm going to have this submarine return over to Balikpapan. Yeah, you're right, Ben Infinite. You could do a return in for some fuel. Right, good. See, there's a lot of troops over here at Pescadores I could do removing. So we might actually have those transports actually head into Pescadores as well. And considering that we have, like, freaking quite a bit here. Especially the AA and etc. as well. These guys really don't want to be on that sort of road. It's not really doing me any good there, is it? I don't know why they're not strategic. Must have been because I was trying to move them by a transport task force, actually. Yeah, right, you should call it Grigsby. Surprise reinforcement, yeah. I wish we had the German technology, that'd be great. That would be great. But welcome there, Chancellor. Welcome to the stream, I hope you're doing good, my dude. Okay, what I'm going to look for here, actually, is we'll look at ground forces. Right. How is it that we can see if a unit can upgrade? I'd like to take a review of units that can upgrade. And we've turned all upgrades off for our ground forces as we're going to do it manually now. How is it that we actually tell? I forget now. I think there's something that displays here. I'm sure there's something like that. Just turn it to, well, just infantry. I can't bloody remember how it is now. What is it now that indicates how they can upgrade? Or is it the star over here? Yeah, they're sinking of Yorktown. Oh man, that would make him shit bricks. Oh dear. Thank you very much for that, chat. That's awesome, my dude. See, it's interesting. I've sent him over the replay yesterday, and he hasn't said very much. So I don't know how he feels about it. I think it's one of these of where he's feeling a little bit. Right, look at table equipment. Okay. Unlucky E. Yeah, no, right. They actually have a pretty damn good table equipment there. Oh, right, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, it is these numbers. Honestly, I don't want to be upgrading these guys. That's a lot of Chinese forces there. 29 could be upgraded, that's good to see. Over there, Ching Chow. Okay. So the only real unit of value is this one. Obviously, it's going to be moving into combat next turn. But that's something to bear in mind. Yeah. Actually, that's something to take into account, is actually the base forces. Well, the engineers in general, that sort of thing. We'll have a look at the units, actually, and see what could be upgraded and what would be worth it. Right, these AA. I think these units are restricted though, aren't they? So I don't think it's worth it upgrading them. Out of interest. I think we'll hold off on this turn for now. I'd like to do a little bit more reading and really try and make some decision as to where I want these assets to go. But we'll bear that in mind, because I don't want to, like, upgrade them and, like, lose anything that could be handy. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'd say for the most part... Ah, there we go. Yep, Medicality's over here. She's going to be heading back. Yep, okay. Fair old amount of troops on board there, isn't there? Yep, so she'll be passing the Marianas this turn. Right. I was considering, is it worthwhile to stop over at Saipan to refuel, but I don't think it is. I think we can continue there. We're only a little bit out from Truck itself. Yeah, no, an engineer unit there. These engineers are going to arrive at Baldoab. Have the engineers arrived at the engine factory to expand them? I think they should have arrived, actually. Consequence is the unfortunate story of the historical gamer. The decline and fall of the historical gamer. Speaking of that, actually... Oh, is it 10k? I was assuming it was 20k. Okay, that's good, man. It's easier. Yeah, speaking of that, now, this has actually brought me on to something that I do actually want to talk about here. So, we need to really address the engine situation here. I definitely need more supplying Gifu. And I think a way we might be able to try and achieve some of this is potentially look at certain airframes and take a look at halting the production there. The reason being just to try and build up the amount of engines in the actual stockpile first and foremost. We need supply. We need to get supply into these bases. Try and reduce the demand at Tokyo. I think Tokyo should be alright. We'll monitor how it changes next turn. Right, Gifu, fuck me. Yeah, but again, Osaka did drop pretty quickly, actually. That's good to know. Yeah, it just seems to be taking some time. I think this is the issue of, obviously, there are other, well, hungry hippos in the area. Increase it to the maximum, then. The G4M and the KI-21 are using the same engine, but you only produce enough engines to finish either one KI-21 or one G4. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. To be honest, I don't know. What should we do then? Should we, I think we should halt the production of both airframes for the time being. We can then obviously build up the engine pool. I mean, the engine pool is really what we need to build up. I think the Jake uses that as well. Okay. Not max. Okay, that's good to know. Take that off the max. Right, okay, that's good to know. All good lessons to learn here, right? If I have something expanded or need to repair, generally set supply required to about 4k. Okay. Okay, well that's good to know. So you think we'll be okay with about 4k? I'll put it at 5. And that works for me, it really does. I suppose it would be kind of like a irritation, obviously, so we had too much supply here in certain bases. Right, okay, where we're looking here. K21s. I'm going to turn off the production for now. Repairs are still going to go ahead. Do you want to set all right, actually? We'll just keep an eye on that. And just be careful, because the higher those numbers go, the more you tend to get supply concentration and repair in locations. You screw up the supply flow if you put everything high. That's good then. Now that must be more what's happening then. I'm just going to adjust this as we go on then. And this is fantastic information to learn. This is what I really do love about this. It's just, yeah. It's just having like a guide in hand at times can really, really help clear up a lot of mistakes. Right, there we go. Ideal would see the benefits there. How are we going on with the actual expansion over here? Helps if I select the right base. Okay, we're nearly at size 7. We might go on to... I suppose it's one of those that we should expand it to a size 10 just because at the end of the day, I mean, Fusan to Honshu, it's the best we're going to get there really in terms of like actual cargo transition points really, so yeah, it's hard to argue with that. I did... See, this is it. It's like, I do need something moving up towards the illusions. What would people think to perhaps us actually taking the 65th Brigade from Formosa and potentially having it... I don't know, we could give it obviously some like artillery and supporting elements from Pescadores. I don't... Maybe a little bit of AA. Some engineer units, of course. But we could potentially look towards actually launching a campaign of the illusions. As you later then, Infinite, have a great time, my friend. Thank you very much for the aid here. And we're not too far away from the end of the turn here, to be honest. It's been quite good. Been fairly short one, actually, due to the fact that, yeah, we've not really had any, like, wrenches thrown in as of yet. Just good things. But have a good one, my friend. See you later. Bye. We'll get those transports down there, but I'm quite open to the idea of potentially doing something with the illusions. I think it'd be nice to actually try and look towards actually securing the northern approaches. It wouldn't be a bad idea at all to potentially look at how we can fortify this area, try to look at how we can actually make this area more formidable. That'd be good to know. Might be worth it to take a look at midget submarines, but midget submarines aren't going to do that much. They're only there as just some sort of quick addition. Your best sub-base for the west coast, yeah, Curile Solutions, you are definitely right there. So yeah, that's good then, we'll look at that then. We do need to get an operation running towards the Aleutians, so I think the 65th Brigade would be fantastic for that actually. So as soon as we get the transports there, we'll be looking at doing that then. That is definitely on the cards now. We'll get the next one planned out. At least we're going to be able to do it near the home isles as well. That's going to make it far easier on us. It would give us a good reason to potentially use the escort carriers as well up that way. So we'll bear that in mind. We'll plan for these operations. Now, aircraft over here still training. Fine by me. Wait until winter, you say? Oh, the construction penalty goes away in April. That's good to know. So these are things that it's like I'm not aware of, but that's actually very good information there. Okay, really appreciate that. Okay, yeah, we can look at using the 65th Brigade for other uses, really. But we'll actually, I mean, to be honest, we could potentially use it for Borneo. I mean, it'd be quite handy in Borneo. Like perhaps at Balikpapan. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all. We do have options, which is great news. But I dare say that for the most part, I think we're about done. I don't think there's a huge amount else to do. Let's take a look at the supply situation over here. That must be why. Don't need all of that. We're going to expand the port to like a level 2, potentially level 3, but level 2 for the most part. Possibly level 3, but at least we could use that in the future. A lot of these things have to be really... Yeah, we improve these things with like a future goal in mind, so we'll have to justify that. I think increased exercise 2 port is... It's going to be handy for certain aspects. We'll take that into consideration, think about that in the future. I think for the most part, yeah, not much else to do. We have things pretty much flowing as they need to be, which is quite good. I do wonder where his bombers have gone, if they're indeed out of the area. Yep, we're waiting for our A6720s to be brought into service. So how many days did we say that was? About 3? Okay, so we're going to have these guys in a day. The good news is also give them some time to actually just repair the aircraft. 79 kills, jeez. Right. So you're loading. Loading complete, however. Glad we didn't end the turn that immediately. See, Sodagao is a level 2 port van, that's quite good. Right, to Sodagao we go. Okay, that gives me another reason to have the Singapore Express here in the area. So what we're going to do then is use the Singapore Express around here. So look at the actual waters. Yeah, we're moving into deep ocean. Which ain't great, but I don't know really what it has in terms of submarines. I want them close enough to actually be able to hit the patrol boat over here, which they will be able to do. That's good news. Yeah, we'll use them to support the actual operations around this area then. Just really make sure that nothing goes awry. Hermes is still in the area. So we need to bear that in mind. Okay, what we are going to do is actually checking some of these things over before we did end. Right, the G4s. I'm going to place them on ASW. Though perhaps... I don't know, it's one of these of is it worth it? Probably not. Yeah, I'm going to say it's not worth it due to the fact that it's going to put fatigue on them. We might as well just have them trained, to be honest. Yeah, beware American destroyers off Samar. Yeah, that's something to bear in mind. We'll have them move a little bit further out, man. Okay, we'll have these guys actually training. Naval attack. What are we looking at in terms of naval support over here, then? So we're up to 496. The port has been expanded to size 7. It's going to take some time, but it is on with. We will have additional engineers here shortly as well. We have taken some away, but we'll have some more sent over here. Yeah, we are moving one of the naval headquarters here as well. So we should end up with at least 6, potentially 700 naval support, something in that sort of region, then if we're lucky. Which is going to be great. It's going to be really good. Maybe around 700 support, give or take. Which would be brilliant. We'll be able to rearm practically everything in the area. It's a shame that we don't have an actual shipyard over here. Otherwise it would have been nice to actually convert some ships. Now we do have Sartor over here as well. Or Sata, however the hell you pronounce it. So we do have some destroyers return over here. We could do actually sending that oil around. Okay, you're moving in. You're already low on fuel. But you have enough. Right, we'll move our patrol boat over to this area then. I do want that engine damage repaired. Three days here. Or 2 days, if we change it. We'll have you just on normal. Right. That's fine by me then. We'll look to have that fixed shortly then. So what we're going to do then is actually send out these 2 submarines down here, which is brilliant news. Obviously have them head down to this general area, I suppose. They do have some really nice endurance, well, really nice range, which is good. We'll have them begin their foray down to this area by heading to Luganville, then we'll decide where they're going to go. Okay. What I'm going to do here then is we're going to sort I don't know. It seems as if his carriers are out by Johnston sort of area, so they don't seem to be within range. So what I'm going to do then while they are here is I'm going to have them train. I think it's worth more than just having them doing practically nothing. Yeah, at least they're gaining actual experience then. Okay, we're in reconnaissance over here, aren't we? As far as it can be considered reconnaissance. They're not exactly intended for this sort of purpose, are they? I think, rather than doing that, as they do have to go through a lot of checks to even be successful. And what we'll do here then is just put these guys on training as well. That, and at the end of the day, we're not going to be, like, causing unnecessary strain on the actual aircraft or on the pilots. So we'll bear that one in mind. We'll stand that, well, we'll have them made ready when we need them, but for the time being, when they're not needed to get into action, considering that there's not really a use for them, we'll have them train. At the end of the day, having these pilots train is going to make a difference in the long run. Shy over there, or she should carry some additional engineers. About that'd be fine. Maybe a little bit further out, actually. Yeah, that's fine. 5 hexes still, and we are a little bit further out here, that's good news. Right. We'll do the attack, yep. Need to build up supply over here as well, that'd be good. They're going to defend, obviously just hold off on any attacks. We'll be having our forces over there next turn. Now, ideally, we can pick up some actual targets over here at Palmyra. That'd be good. Right, what we are going to do now then. But the submarines that have been sighted, I'm going to have them head in the general direction of Pearl. The reason being, I want to try and pick up on any, just maybe any sort of movements. If we can just really, I don't know, what I want to find out is, to be honest, what I'm going to do is actually have this guy head back towards truck, actually. Yeah, I mean, what I want to find out here then is really where he is by using the submarines as sort of like, I don't know, almost like tin cans on a string, really. It's like, we'll see what happens where they are. I mean, if they do spot enemy planes or they're spotted by the enemy out at sea, then at least we can sort of think, okay, well, that might indicate that carriers are nearby. Use them like that sort of way. I'll leave one over here to look around. Well, to keep an eye on Johnston. Yeah, you're quite heavily damaged. Try and keep him on his toes if we can do. Okay. Yeah, then I think after this turn we'll take a real hard look at whether these submarines are actually doing us any good over here. And then if we decide against them, we'll just bring them all back. The ones that can remain on station maybe in this area, but yeah, we'll bring them back into the greater empire. And get them into use, really. Okay. Yep, I would say I'm happy with that. We do have a fair amount of transports over here that could be used as well. So bear that in mind. Okay. So you're looking to head into this base over there. Now, ideally, that should actually cut that base off from supply, which would be quite nice. Obviously, you could have it supplied via naval aspects. Pokoi will be ours in the next 2 to 3 days, give or take. Was that unit there or was it there? I don't think it was there, was it? Looks like it's moved. Good job we're still building the fortifications up here. I'm going to move these engineers. Not there, but we'll move them to Wuchang. Especially considering that these are independent... Well, these are engineer regiments, so obviously they're going to be needed to deal with fortifications, so we'll get them to where they need to be. Now then. Considering the developments... They can't be moved. That's fine then. Yeah, what I might do here then actually is, yeah, to be honest, we're going to do this. Okay, so... To be honest, I could even just take... Yeah. We're going to begin operations down here sooner, actually. So I'm going to send 3 divisions down that way. We'll look to obviously gather additional support there. This division will be left to really garrison Xinjiang. Sorry, regiment will be left to garrison Xinjiang. Obviously, as our forces do finish the fight over here, we'll come back over here. But yeah, then we'll pull back over here and have maybe a division, maybe even the 34th actually just sitting here in Hankow, just recover, but obviously act as a garrison. But yeah, we're going to have those 3 divisions shifted to Wuchang, as we do expect potentially danger there. So we'll get them moving, get our forces into the area, and then to be honest, we might be able to engage that Chinese force just outside the city of Wuchang, and defeat that, then begin the march on Changsha. Obviously, then as our additional forces do come into the area, that's going to help us out. So we'll get our asses into gear, we'll get moving, and get things sorted. So that sounds good to me. I hope it sounds good to you guys as well. But I'd say with that, we are pretty much done with the turn. Strange, isn't it? Usually we do spend a little bit longer here, but this one's been a little bit shorter, so I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overcast. So the forecast. Overcast, partly cloudy, rain, thunderstorms. Overcast, thunderstorms, 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 clear skies. At least Perth has a nice day. Yeah, we'll go with that then. I don't think I missed anything, so that's fine. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll call this, sinking the big E. There we go. That'll make him wonder about things, give him something to chew on there, really. But I'd like to say thank you so very much there, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's been a pleasure, and I do hope you guys continue to follow the series. If you've enjoyed this and you would like to support myself and the channel, you can do so in a number of ways, such as PayPal, Patreon, Super Chats, and of course, I do have prints available for those of you who would like to donate, but receive something in return. So what I'm going to be doing here is, unfortunately, postal packaging isn't as cheap as I was hoping it would be. So for a size A2 print, it will be £35. That is including the postal packaging there. £5 for the postal packaging. Obviously, it depends on where it's going to be, but I think anything above £5, unless it's absolutely unbelievable, I'll cover myself. Yep, and the A2s will be £25 plus the post and packaging. But this is it. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's there for you guys that would like to have something in return, which, at the end of the day, we'd all like to get something in return, which is nice. It'd be good for me. It makes me feel better, because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't feel like I'm ripping you guys off. But until next time, guys, thank you so very much for watching. And it's going to be very exciting to see what happens next turn, to be honest. I'm going to be very excited. I mean, whether we actually do see that, yeah. Whether we actually do bloody see a surface combat with the battleships of Nagato and Mutsu in action. That's going to be great. Hopefully we'll see that. But if we don't see that battle, Kidabutai is moving down that way. And at the end of the day, Kidabutai will start and finish that fight. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching. See you all in the future. Goodbye for now. Have a great evening. And say hello to the family for me. Goodbye for now.